Welcome to Texas Senior Softball Podcast number 9. I know I said I'd have Matt McGee on for this episode, but I have decided to do another episode on USSSA classifications and how I think the classification should be done. I played ball this weekend. I played Winter Worlds. I played the lower levels. I talked to several teams that were from out of state. I talked to teams here. I've had conversations with people since the tournament has been over and discussed classifications, why they classified their team the way they did. And I've come up to an opinion on what I think about it. I've come up to an opinion on the biggest excuse I heard the entire weekend. And to me, it was the biggest cop-out excuse I've ever heard. The main excuse I heard was, oh, we've never played before, so we classify ourselves as AA. But yet when I ask you what you got on your team, you've got 2 C-ball players and a full team of D-ball players. Guys, that's not a AA team. Sorry. When you have C-ball players on a team, it is not AA. That's just my opinion. My opinion don't matter to nobody and probably doesn't matter to anybody, but that's my opinion. If I'm spotting you runs and you have C-ball players on your team as a AA team, that is not fair to the AAA team you're playing that may have 1 C-ball player or none. So, here's the thing. AA is the lowest level you can play. It's just like E-ball. It's the lowest level. Now, granted, we don't have as many levels to play in seniors, but you don't need it. The AAA is going to cover a wide range, and so will majors. And then you have your conference, which is the elite of the elite most of the time. But here's the thing. If we're going to do this classification thing, USSSA has got to come out with some guidelines. We can't just let teams keep classifying themselves as AA or AAA when they're truly conference or majors. We can't let a team classify themselves as AA when they're truly a AAA and making the AAA teams spot them runs. That's not fair. There could be a team classified as AA that could be majors. There could be a team classified as AAA that could be conference. Same with majors. I mean, you have a majors team that won our division this weekend. RNL Sports. They won the conference majors tournament. Now, they were listed as a majors team. The kicker is they played Major Plus Worlds last year in SSUSA. Does that make them a Major Plus team? Probably. You have Quick. They are listed as a conference team. You have Front Row. They are listed as a conference team. Those are teams that are combined of nothing but Major Plus players from SSUSA the year previously. So, my opinion, that's how you should go by. That's what those guys did. Let me tell you, there were some good ball games this weekend in the upper division. So my personal opinion is this. If you're a AA team, strictly AA team, they get 0 home runs. Guys, we're using senior bats. That's going to be hard to do. You shouldn't be made up of anything but a majority of E-ball players and D-ball players. I'm sorry, but if you're a AA team, you shouldn't have more than 3 D-ball players on your team. You should be all E players with a couple of D players. Now, this is USSSA rankings. Nobody else's. AAA is going to be a little different. It's a little bit better quality ball players, supposedly. You should be all D-ball players with a couple of C-ball players mixed in. Maybe 1 or 2 in the AAA division. You never know. This is something that USSSA has to work out, just my personal opinion. If you're going to play majors, majors is going to be D and C, a good mix of C-ball players. But, some people say if you have more than 3 C-ball players, you ought to be uppers or conference. In USSSA, I would say majors would be a good mix of D and C-ball players, with your B-ball players being your bumps. It's just my personal opinion. I know that Quick is predominantly C-ball players with some B-ball players and some conference guys. Now, you can be conference and be C, but you're conference. You're the elite, supposedly the elite ball players. So, the majors and the conference is going to be kind of difficult. And of course, if you're a B-ball player, BA, majors, if you're a conference ball player, you go travel and play in all the conference tournaments on a fully sponsored team, whether CB, whatever, you're going to be conference. It's just the way it is. It's the way it's going to be. It's the way it should be. But the majors, to me, is kind of questionable. ranking-wise, because there's such a wide gap that you can cover with players. I do think that it should be a mix of D and C ball players, with your B ball players being your cutoff line there. Now, if your whole team is C, I believe you should be conference. Maybe make it, D ball players with 4C players. Anything above 4C players is conference. Anything above 3C ball players is conference, because that's going up to the next level. Conference is going to be the top of the top. And seniors, guys, it doesn't take much to get there. These bats are hot. Anybody can hit with them just about. Now, there's a difference between how hard a AAA player is going to hit compared to a conference player. I mean, that's just common sense. It's the elite of the elite. Now, obviously, they're going to smoke the ball compared to what a AA and AAA is going to do. Majors is going to be the same way. Majors is going to be able to smoke a ball, but conference players should be able to handle that. Majors and conferences, that one's walking the line. It's going to be hard to do, because there's not much of a difference between them, other than unless you want to draw that line to being up would be conference. Now, if you got to do that, you got to rethink the quick roster. You got to rethink the Arnell and the MVP and all those guys, because they're not necessarily B ball players, but they are major plus teams in USSSA. They're considered upper teams in GSA. Now, GSA is a different world. They have a AAA majors and major plus, and really in GSA, I'm not quite sure how they rank teams. I know it's at the judgment of the directors, so that's not that big of a deal. So, guys, just kind of sit back, look at yourself, look at your team, and kind of think about what you're doing. Now, I want to tell you this. If you're playing in tournaments and you're finishing the top 3 or 4 every time, I think you ought to be bumped. I don't think you should be able to sit there and walk through tournaments and continue to finish in the top of every tournament you play in and not get challenged. Los Peeps, they were a AA team this weekend. They won the AAA AA bracket. 2 weeks ago, they finished 4th with the majors, with the upper and lower bracket. Majors, major plus, or conference, AA and AAA all mixed together. They finished 4th. Are they a AA team? No, probably not. Especially after those 2 tournaments, they probably should be bumped to AAA. I've talked to the coach. We've discussed it. And he was asking me, hey, am I classified right? How do we go about figuring out classifications? I don't understand how it works, because I didn't even know seniors had classifications until I signed up. I get it. It's new to people. Take a look at your roster, see what y'all got. These are just suggestions, guys, from me, my personal opinion. Now, if USSSA hears this, if Jeff Hall hears this, or some guys from Lone Star hears this, I'm just throwing out some just suggestions to go by. So when these tournaments come rolling around in the next couple of weeks, we have something to go by to classify teams the right way. Now, for the most part, we're not going to know until rosters are online, until USSSA gets the rosters fixed. So everybody can get their rosters online and they see what they've got and who they've got and who those players are. I mean, obviously these teams know it, these coaches know it, but we don't. I talked to a AA team this weekend, AA. They had 2 C players and all D players. In my opinion, that's a AAA to a majors team. Most likely, AAA. Basically all D, 2 Cs. They should have been AAA. We shouldn't have been spotting them runs. Now, if we'd have spotted them runs, we'd have been 5 runs closer. So instead of being 28 to 9, we'd have been 5 runs closer. 23 to 9? We still got smoked. Didn't matter. But it's just scenarios like that talking to people this weekend made me think about doing this. Talking to the coach for Los Peeps made me think about doing this. I wish somebody at USSSA would sit down and make guidelines so teams can sit there and go, okay, these are the USSSA guidelines for being ranked. We got something to go by. AAA is D with 2, 3 C players. AA is all E with 2 or 3 D players. Majors would be C with B players. Bumps. Conference is everybody. Anybody can play conference. You think your team's good enough? Step up and play. But guys, realize in USSSA, if you step up and play conference, you're not getting double points. If you're the only AAA team in conference, you're not going to get points for winning first place. You're going to get points for what you have. But you know what? What does it hurt to step up and play the stiffer competition to see how you rank? If you're playing AAA and AA all the time and you want to be challenged, step up and play the next level. Guys, nobody's out to hurt anybody. And all this does is gives us more teams to play in the upper levels. People will love it. Your team will get respect for stepping up and challenging themselves. And guess what? You may get bumped. If you get up there and start beating teams and doing really well, sorry guys, you just proved to yourself you're not a AAA team anymore. You're majors. Have fun with it. Enjoy it. Figure out the rankings. Let's get, the more people make noise, the more USSSA is going to listen and come up with some type of classification rules so we know what we're doing. Guys, until the next episode, stay young and swing for the fences.